Hello, this is Nick from Breaker Press Games, and this is the Breaker Bulletin for May 25th, 2024. Alright, so this is Nick from Breaker Press Games, and this is the Breaker Bulletin. For those that don't know what the Breaker Bulletin is, this is where I give updates on all the things going on with Breaker Press, including Kickstarter updates, what's going on my Patreon page, and events that I have coming up. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Love to hear the things that you're excited about, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So, for the last few months, I have been shipping the Protectorate of Genulane as well as Sorceress Rites of the Elements. Most of you at this point have gotten tracking numbers and know that your stuff is on their way or is in your hands right now. The current state of play for the Protectorate of Genulane is that it is 91% shipped. And at this point, there are 20 people that are waiting for their copies. Why are they waiting for their copies? Well, there was a group of people that were waiting, a slightly larger group of people that were waiting for Rabid Dogs to print and be ready to ship. This is the third and what will likely be the final printing of Rabid Dogs. It was a great zine that I started all of this journey with, but at this point, a lot of the content I have reprinted in other places and what have you, and so it has served its purpose and served it well. And so that went out to backers of Protector of Genulane as well as backers for Sorceress Rites of the Elements, which is 94% shipped. And in that case, there are about 9 people that are still waiting. So 20 people waiting for Protector of Genulane, 9 people waiting for Sorceress Rites of the Elements. And what are they waiting on? Well, I need to do a second printing of the Tome of Debasement. I'm very excited that this particular zine is getting a reprint, because the Tome of Debasement, it was a little bit of a sleeper on Kickstarter. It didn't do as well as some of my other zines. I think people, they didn't know how to embrace debasement when they saw it, and they're like, oh, a thing full of evil cleric spells. How am I going to use this? But then word spread, and people got excited about it. And so I'm very excited to reprint that zine. It was a delight. a grim dark delight. So yeah, in the next 2 weeks, this week I will send the Tome of Debasement to the printer for a reprint. It will probably take several days, and then will be in my hands and be ready to ship early the following week. So first week of June, all of the remaining Protector of Genulane and Sorceress Rites of the Elements should ship, because those are to people that are waiting for the Tome of Debasement. There are still, I should note that on both of those Kickstarters, there's still a couple of people that have not filled out surveys. I have sent multiple messages on Kickstarter saying, hey, can you fill out your survey? I will next send out emails to those specific people. There's, I believe, 6 between Protector of Genulane and Sorceress Rites of the Elements that never filled out their surveys. So I will chase you down. Okay, so what is next after that? Well, Tragedy at Woodwitch Rise, which I've talked a lot about. I did my whole tour over the last several months, actually last 6 months, where I was running Tragedy at Woodwitch Rise at every city that I could get to. And I am very excited about the final adventure. I think it's a great collection of encounters with an epic boss fight at the end. It is fun to play. It is variable, which means that it's going to be different every time you run it. And yeah, the work in progress PDF will go out at some point this week, being sent out to all of the Kickstarter backers. And then I will collate any feedback that comes back, if there's people that are confused, not sure how to run it, etc., etc. And there will still be some last minute, like, pushing things around and what have you, because that's just how these things go. But that project should be done in about 2 weeks. And then, go to the printer and ship, and should ship to everyone by the end of the month. So, and when I say month, by the end of month of June. So I am very excited to get that done. It is a great adventure, and I am stoked to get it out to all of you. And to continue the Mutt Wrangler saga started with Desperation of the Hungry. Okay, so after that is Rabid Dogs Volume 2. Now, Rabid Dogs Volume 2, I did a bunch of work on in March and April. Mostly was taking the various classes that are going into it and dump them all into the document. Been working on collating all of the equipment and turning that into a article called Business on Parade. But what will remain is editing and adding all of the art. And so that should come together very quickly in June. I probably still won't ship until the beginning of July. Which is a little later than I had said previously, but it's coming along. Everything is moving along. Very excited. And so let's talk about the project that is slated to be completed in July, which is the Stennard Courier Volume 2. And Stennard Courier Volume 2, I've been using the NPCs at the table. I'm very excited for people to meet Urhan Leech Gripper or to meet the Fire Whisperer. Lots of cool characters. Some of them I've been using for months and months, actually years, and others are a little bit newer. But I've been using at games, at both conventions and my home table, the expanded map of Stennard that includes the Temple of Delvere and Talana Mare Groomer's stables, etc. So very excited about all of that. I'm excited to have you people be able to engage with all of that content because I love writing this stuff and I love sharing it with you and I love hearing the stories come back of how you all utilize it at your tables. So after Stennard Courier Volume 2, we've got the Peculiar NPCs deck, which the Kickstarter just wrapped up and payment came through to me, transferred to my bank account a couple of days ago. And I have just received over the last 2 weeks 5 more portraits from Ricardo Gaspar. According to this note, it says that I am waiting on 5 more. I believe it's actually 4 more. NPC portraits in order to be done and ready to send that to the printer. Some of the new art that Ricardo Gaspar has sent me, I am so excited about. One of the characters is a character that I have been running since 2017, Cestal Greystalker, who has never been in print or documented. The Orange Coven assassin of sorts, and so I'm very excited that the art for her came out fantastic, and so I'm really excited. She will most likely be introduced when we do a new printing of the Precipice of Corruption. Little deep cut, if you look in the Precipice of Corruption and you look in the Orange Coven dormitories, there is a room that says Cestal's Room, and it tells you, if you ever watched the TV show Room Raiders on MTV in the early 2000s, you get a snapshot into who Cestal is, but there are no details on Cestal because Cestal was cut from the final printing. But Cestal still has a room in the Orange Coven dormitories. And so, yeah, I am excited to be able to add that content back in the coming months. So, let's talk about Patreon. This month's Patreon reward was Prisoners of Tower Genulain, which is my prison break scenario. I am very excited. People have gotten their copies and seem amped on this little guy. The next pamphlet is just about done. I'm about to send it to an editor. It is called Pervasive Corruption, and it includes my rules for famine, taint, and scarcity in Stennard, as well as something I call Insidious Luck. Back in October, I was at Michael's looking at Halloween decorations, and there were jars of 100 flies, and I was like, of course I need 100 flies. And while on a dog walk, I was thinking about my jar of flies, and I was like, it would be fun to use flies as luck. And every time one of the PCs used one of these 6 flies, not the full 100, just 6 that I put in the center of the table, every time they use one of those flies, I can then do something bad to the PCs. And so this has been used at conventions a bunch by me, and the way it plays out at the table is delightful. It definitely makes me cackle inside, and sometimes outside. So I'm looking forward to getting that pamphlet out to folks. I just need to send it to the editor. And so we are 10 minutes in. That is a perfect amount of time. As far as events go, I'm going to be at Origins at the Goodman Games booth in June. And I will be at the Gen Con booth, at the Goodman Games Gen Con booth in July, August. And then you will see a whole nother run of me being at conventions every 2 weeks throughout the fall season. So that is everything going on with Breaker Press Games. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope you got something useful out of all of this chatter. And everything is moving along at a good clip now. So awesome. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for supporting indie games and indie game designers. This is Nick from Breaker Press Games, signing off. How would you like to get grimdark content sent to your mailbox every month? Become a noble patron on the Breaker Press Patreon, and you will get cool stuff like encounter pamphlets and class guides sent to your mailbox. It's $5 and above. Go check it out in the doobly-doo below. The Protectorate of Genuine is a spiritual journey for one PC and one judge, comparable to the Green Knight or Luke on Dagobah. It is available through the Breaker Press web store now, or you can encourage your FLGS to pre-order it wherever they acquire Goodman Games product.